Good morning. Welcome to this Holy Light Circle. Another session on our Chapter 20 program. Thank you all for joining us. This is a beautiful program if you've not heard of it. It refers to Chapter 20 in the book Jesus, a New Covenant. And what this means is that in Chapter 20 there are 80 plus beliefs and desires that come from A Course in Miracles that Jesus pointed out for Kay to put in this book. And it's a separate program where we join up specific partners together who become partners to go through the entire Chapter 20 program together. And it's beautiful because you just don't know who you're going to be partnered with. And Jesus knows who is perfect. I have had several partners throughout my experience of the program, questioned all of them at the beginning because of course, the ego never wants to join. And every one of them turned out to be perfect for the timing. So it's the purpose of the book is to take us, or the program, the Chapter 20 program, is to take us deeper in the mind. Everybody wants accelerated healing. Everybody wants the fastest way to know the love of God, to experience the truth within. And Jesus has told us we will never know how much we want it or we will never experience it until we see how much we don't want the truth. And we don't want the truth because of the landmines, I would call them, the bear traps that the ego has set up in the mind with all of these desires to keep us distracted and to keep us trapped and stuck in hell. Just a couple of beliefs. You believe that being persecuted is helpful. You believe that you can think apart from God. You believe that what you think has more value than the thoughts of God or the thoughts of others. And these are desires that are so deeply buried, we would never know they were there unless Jesus points them out. And it's a very deep look. He does mention in A Course in Miracles more than 400 times joining, how important and invaluable joining is with a partner. So that's what this program is about. To work with a partner several times a week, 30 minutes, 45 minutes each time, and to go deep in the mind with Jesus, to look at the desire and to ask for the miracle and to allow Jesus to guide us to the miracle on the desire and the healing, which removes it from the mind. So yeah, it's a beautiful program. We come here on this morning to share our experiences with it and what it has done for us. There's a couple of questions Jesus says we can look at. What is your direct experience in your sessions being coached by Jesus? And what is Jesus teaching you about miracles? And which desires have you looked at? And what has Jesus told you during the time with your partner? So this is very deep contemplation, deep looking, and deep healing. And it's very, very beautiful. So I'll begin the sharing. This was has been an extremely powerful program. I never realized the value or the importance of joining with a partner. And the purpose of this is, especially when we're new at light circles or just wanting to hear the voice for God, wanting to talk with Jesus. There's so much resistance in the mind that often it's difficult to hear his voice. And what I've learned is that when I join with a partner or partners, I can hear the voice more clearly in my mind, and Jesus speaks to me through my brothers and tells me how important it is to listen and not judge and not doubt what I'm hearing. So it's beautiful in that often my partner and I hear the exact same thing at the exact same time. And this is just a reflection of the clearing and the healing that we're doing in the mind and the willingness to hear the voice. It takes an awful lot of willingness. So what is my experience in my sessions? Jesus, what I've learned is that I don't want to hear the voice as much as I have said that I'm willing and I want to, but I'm learning that the ego wants no part of it. And Jesus is just showing me that he guides the way, that I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea, first of all, what's in my subconscious mind, let alone how to heal it. And I have to depend on him. And oftentimes this, as I mentioned, this direction or instruction comes through my brother. So I have to be humble. I have to be just so humble and accept that I know nothing. And when I do this, I'm learning that the voice is starting to come to me more and more, that I'm hearing it more and more clearly, and that by trusting him, the miracles are coming too. The desires are being released and the healing is happening. What is Jesus teaching me about miracles? Mainly that they're already here. They're already mine. The miracle is here waiting for me. All I have to do is accept it. And there's no order of difficulty. If I look at a desire, one versus another, the ego wants to judge it and say, oh my God, this one's going to be so much harder. And Jesus says, no, they're all the same. And all you have to do is commit to believing this with a willingness to accept it and know that I'm helping you. And what he's showing me is I have to allow him to show me the suppressed tension or energy that I hold for a desire. And we call this wanting energy. He shows me how much I absolutely want this desire, the ego. And it just comes up as energy and releases. And by doing this and being committed to having the correction in my mind and seeing this differently in the light with Jesus, that it happens. And it does. It's very, very beautiful. And what desires have I looked at, and what has Jesus taught me or told me? There's been a lot. There's been a lot. And most recently, I'm looking at the desire to beat my brother. And this is not necessarily just physical. It can be, but it doesn't show up that way for me. It shows up in the form of hatred and rage and judgment and attack and all forms of fear and conflict. And there's a belief under this, several beliefs, that this is where my power comes from. My power comes from beating my brother mentally, emotionally, even verbally at times. And what he's shown me is the power that I think I'm getting, obviously is not true. It's not the power of God, and it never will be. So consciously I get that. But subconsciously, the power that I believe I'm getting is really only power for the ego to remain alive and active. And he says it's taking the total commitment to release this power and see that it's a lie to myself in the mind, a trick. And the willingness to look and let him show me the wanting energy. This is the other part of it I just mentioned, allowing him to show me the wanting energy so I can just give it to the light, put it in the light and watch it melt and disappear. So it's a beautiful program. This type of healing, I'll just mention real quick, Kay has learned through Jesus that this is the exact same training that he gave to Bill and Helen when they first started writing the course. And it's been confirmed. It's not similar or pretty much the same. It's identical. It's exactly the way Jesus taught Helen and Bill. This is exactly the way he's teaching us, and exactly the way to clear the clutter from the mind the fastest, and to experience the fruits of the healing. So, very beautiful program. We welcome everyone who has any thoughts about it, just to come up with questions, or if you're interested, we can set you up with a partner. Definitely worth the while to do this, if healing the mind at the deepest level is of priority to you. So thank you all. That's my share. And who would like to share next?
Oh, I think I'll share next. Thank you, David. Your share was very helpful and very accurate. After being in the program, probably for a year and a half, I found it was a fast track with the light circles for the healing of the mind. And you're absolutely right about Jesus putting us with the right partner. We both, my partner and I, Sue, really enjoyed the journey together in the year and a half. And it was just really helpful to, like I say, help with the light circles. I do miss the program, and I love the book, and I do the book quite often for myself, but there is a measurable difference when you're joining with a partner. As Jesus reminds us every day in the light circles, to join with a brother to hear his voice more clearly, and that is so true. Currently, I join with a few brothers, and our shares are very similar. So as you said, David, clearing the clutter in the mind brings out the truth, and just it's very clear that we're all, even in our light circles, that our shares are very compatible and the same message coming from Jesus. So I have to say, I do miss the program. Doing it, it was really enjoyable to do it at that with my partner. So yes, I think that's questions, if there was anything else here. Yes, and yeah, Jesus is the same as you said, David, showing me that it's not as difficult to get a miracle as I make it out to be. He's showing me in the last little bit very clearly how I have not wanted to join with a brother, really to join with him, and because I had a program running that I could do it all myself. So the chapter 20 program helped me get out of that shell that I had, that no, way back in the went. But he put me with a perfect partner. She was so gentle and quiet, very compatible to me. So it was a beautiful journey together. So yes, I enjoyed it thoroughly. It was very helpful for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Martha. It's beautiful. Yeah, just lovely experiences throughout, for sure. Okay, Renee, would you like to share?
Okay. Yeah, this month in the program, joining Jesus has helped me see more deeply the fear that comes up looking, and the indulgence in that, and so that wanting energy of actually with every desire, it's the flip of heaven and hell in my mind. That corresponds with the light circles in the workbook. So that's really helps with the consistency of looking. So with my partner, we invite Jesus to guide the session, and then to go below the fear. We were looking at a desire. You believe that if you look inward, your eyes will light on sin and God will strike you blind. Thus, you desire an experience of feeling that if you look inward, you will find sin and God will strike you blind. So yeah, just quickly going under the fear. That's what Jesus helps with that reminder that don't stay up in the fear, go below it. And then the flip of heaven and hell, and he's helping us see that decision in the mind, where I have that confused, and I indulge in fear, thinking that it's heaven or it's going to get me heaven. And so, yeah, just to help me see that that's actually the experience of hell. And that the quickest way out of all of it is the miracle. So another thing he showed us this month was how it's in the Course where Jesus is pointing to how I am in avoidance, and in avoidance of seeing my true value, my true worth, in the atonement, in joining and just seeing how confused I've been about my role, and my role and Jesus's role, and to really keep handing the defenses over to him, that there are many defenses that come up, and that he's here to coach. It's like he knows me. He knows my sense of humor. He knows my sense of humor above all else. I would say that where I want to take spiritual teachings, awakening very seriously, he helps lighten that up through my partner, especially. She's got a great sense of humor, and she is so willing to join and share that what he's showing her directly, so that I can see that he's here, that he's coaching me, and like through the many different practical daily things that so it's not like this special thing. It's like the ordinary activities of my day. So looking with chapter 20 at these desires helps carry over into all my decisions, so that I'm consistently asking Jesus for help with decision making. And that leads to me following guidance more consistently. So overall, it's just helped me develop a dialogue with Jesus and trust him and have faith in myself that I hear the voice. I have the power to hear, speak, and follow the voice, and also see that in my brother and share that, and that this is the quickest way, is to have the direct experience. And I see that in contrast with where I was always looking at someone else and comparing myself to them and thinking, oh, they know something I don't. So I think one of the major beliefs that Jesus has helped unwind me from is that someone has this ability and someone doesn't. And it's always a play of like, I don't have it and they do, or I have it and they don't. And he's helped me unwind from that way of thinking and seeing so that I can see the light in my brother. And that's my priority. And that's my only interest. And that's where I'm headed. And I can place everything in Jesus's hands and know that he knows my best interests. Thank you. Has them at heart. Thank you.
Thank you, Renee. Another beautiful share. Yeah, and as we can see here, the whole purpose of this program and what we do here is to deepen our relationship with Jesus. And this is the most direct path to deepening the relationship and hearing the voice to be able to follow. The Course says that truth will be returned to you as by your desire, as it was lost to you by your desire for something else. And this desire for something else is all of these desires in the subconscious mind. Jesus is the only one that we can turn to who knows the fastest way through the desires. And he says in the Course, ask me which miracles to perform. Consciously selected miracles can be misguided. The ego loves deciding what's going to be the best way for me, but I'm not giving in. I've learned that allowing Jesus to point out which desire to look at next, even though I'm confused by it at times. I'm like, well, why here? Doesn't matter why. Jesus knows why. And when I do this, the miracles come, and then the other ones seem to fall. The desires seem to fall more easily. So, this is just a beautiful way to build a relationship with Jesus, to hear the voice, to speak to him directly, and to literally have a conversation with him and hear his responses to the questions. There's nothing more precious and more holy I can't think of. So this is our Chapter 20 program. I thank everyone for being here today and joining with us and sharing your experiences. So invaluable and inspirational for everyone as we walk together in the light of truth with Jesus on our way home. So thank you so much. And we will look forward to seeing everyone once again on the first Saturday of January. First Saturday of every month is when we join here. And for now, it will begin at 10 a.m. U.S. Central Time. Today was 11, but it's going to begin these sessions until the daylight savings time changes. We will be joining at 10 a.m. U.S. Central. So thank you so much. Love to you and have a beautiful day. Thank you.